Guys, we're here to talk about, I want to give you the basic blueprint to make 10 grand a month in wholesaling. And honestly, this is the easy one. This is the one, if you're just getting out started wholesaling, this is a video you want to pay attention to because number one, I'm not charging it for you. Number two, I'm going to give you the blueprint for it. And by the time I'm done this, I'm going to show you exactly where to get it to go in much greater depth. And here's the really cool part is you can grab this today. You can review it anytime you want. And my favorite part is it's 100% free because my goal is to teach as many people, not only to get started in wholesaling, but teach them how to get their first deal and then teach them how to make their first $100,000. If you're signed on board, let's do it. I'm like especially amped up today. I don't know what's going on today. I don't know if there's any type of event going on, but I don't know. I'm jacked up today. I'm fired up. So now I have a lot more knowledge and I'm going to show you what you need to be successful today in understanding if I can teach a 17-year-old kid, excluding my son, how to do this business. And the most important thing I taught him was how to take action and how to do the business correctly. You have no excuse. So if you want to be successful in wholesaling, you just got to put in the work. There is no substitute for hard work, but you got to work smart. So let's jump into it. We always talk about the 3-3-3 approach. So this is the first step. So don't worry, guys. This is recorded. You can play it back. So if you're taking diligent notes, I like to take notes because sometimes the physical act of writing just wires to my brain, but I'm an old school guy. Kind of shows you my age. But if you guys like to go back and watch videos like my son does, you can do that too. And the only thing is just play it over and over and stop it at your pace and take notes. So it's called the 3-3 approach. That's for your lists. That's going to be for your marketing channels, and it's going to be your disposition. So unless you just fell off this earth, let me break this down for you. And by the way, I go in much deeper in freewholesaling.com because I only get so much time to spend with you guys, but I'm giving you the highlights. So 3-3-3 approach, lists, marketing, and dispositions. The first one is driving for dollars, government list and paid list. So driving for dollars is the art of driving around and looking for houses that are just ugly. High grass, blue tarp roofs, boarded up windows. You guys know the drill. Apparently there's courses out on this stuff, but I guess people will buy anything. You don't need a course for driving for dollars. It's really actually common sense. I teach it all for free at freewholesaling.com. But honestly, guys, I learned this the first day of wholesaling, and it was probably one of the best sources. Go out and find ugly houses, and we're going to find a way to get in touch with them. The next one is government list. And these are lists that are generated at your county level, typically. And this is going to include your courthouses and your building departments. And these lists are going to be your foreclosure list. It's going to be your eviction list. It's going to be, you could put divorce list on there. I'm not a big fan of the divorce list. You have probates, phenomenal. Oh my God, if you're not doing probates, I need to shake this mic and smack you over the head with it. And then you can break down to the building departments and do fire damage properties from your local fire departments and your water shutoffs. And don't forget, one of the most valuable lists is code violations. Now, your biggest obstacle with these lists is you're going to get some resistance because they have privacy policies. We can't do it's public information argument anymore because they're going to hide behind the policy. So to overcome resistance, you've got to beat it with resistance. So understand going into that. And then the third one is going to be your paid list. You're going to be your listrei.com, anything like that, because sometimes it is efficient to pay a small service fee to get access to the information. We all live busy lives, but honestly, you can get all this stuff for free. You don't have to have a paid list, but I look at a paid list as it's a lot cheaper than hiring another employee. And for that purpose I want you to understand that. So that is going to be your list. Let me know if you have any questions on the list. Now, as far as the marketing channels, cold calling, I'm going to beat you to death on it because honestly, if you don't have a lot of money, it's the fastest way to get through volume, which is what you need when you start. The next one is SMS, also known as texting. One of the most phenomenal ways you can do it. It's going to cost you a little bit of money because you have to use a service and you have to skip trace. But the scalability of SMS, there's very few that can match it. The key with SMS texting is you have to convert them from your phone. I get phone calls. You have to convert them from a text to a phone call. Don't think you can automatically take deals down via text. Very rarely you can do it, but the idea is you have to engage them to qualify them. And the only way you can do that is you got to get people on the phone. The last one's going to be direct mail. This is a less likely source if you're just starting out, because the reality is you don't have the experience to talk to sellers. And I don't want you to risk marketing dollars if you don't know how to take down deals. So Rick, how do I learn to take down deals? It's simple. Tons of cold calling, direct mail, and driving for dollars, and even reverse driving for dollars, which is the technique. This is another marketing channel. It really falls under driving for dollars, but you go out and put like a sticky note. So you like your yellow Post-it notes, and you can use a stamp or you can handwrite it. It says, I got a quick question about your house. I'll take my pre-foreclosure list or my code violation list, and I'll go ahead and put sticky notes on it. And then if I put 100 out there and 10 or 15 people call me back, I save a lot of time and aggravation, and it works out perfectly to do that. So those are our marketing channels. I am blasting through this because I want to get to the phone call. So the next one, we're talking about dispositions. So once you get them under contract, you have to quickly find a way to dispose of these properties, AKA sell them. And it's real simple. You want to pull up the cash sales, which you can, the easiest way is use listrei.com, or you could, for rents. Why for rents? Because these are landlords always eagerly looking to buy properties that they can't get a good price on MLS. They love to get off-market deals, and that's where you and me as the wholesaler comes in, and that's when you do it. And then the last one, guys, I still love auctions, man. I went to the auction last week for a commercial property, and based on the amount of people that show up and how the bidding goes, and like I love to hear people's feedback, it's probably one of the best places to get info. Now, I don't want you bidding in these. You do not want to bid on an auction because he or she that pays the most loses the most. As wholesalers, our job's never to pay the most, period. And the auction, its whole design is to use the FOMO, the fear of missing out. If you don't pay, this person's going to outbid you for $500, and you're willing to lose the property. I find the whole mantra of doing auctions just amazing. It's like a human experiment. And what I find out is people like to compete at auctions. They take it very personally. I've seen auctions where nobody bid. This is dead true. This was a long time ago, I went to an auction during a very down market, and guys, we're kind of heading that way, and nobody bidded on the property. Nobody bidded on me. And what I did is I let the smoke settle. I went up to the auctioneer and I go, I can't help but see the problem you have here. Are you interested in negotiating an offer with me directly with the homeowner? And here's the key. I told the auctioneer, which is a realtor, which I believe is a broker, I'm happy to pay your fee. 45 minutes later, I cut a deal. She was a little old lady and she just wanted to get rid of the house. Guys, if you ever go to an auction and nobody bids, you should lick your chops because they are wide open to talking to the wholesaler. I know it's rare, but every now and then it happens. But really the purpose of going to the auction is take the temperature of what's going on in the market and gather as much information as possible. So I'm learning about this new technique. You guys know I'm old. So like you can take your phone and you can have a digital business card and scan it and bump the other person. People don't even exchange business cards anymore. I still like to, but the reality is it's never been easier to exchange information, and you really need to take advantage of doing that. So I love auctions, man. Like auctions is just fun. It's like I have more fun at auction than anybody else. And like I just go to like, it's amazing. I remember at the peak of the market. So I've been through two really peak markets. I remember showing up in an auction in 2006 or maybe early 2007, right before the market hit. One house, ready for this? 280 people showed up. It was unbelievable. I went to auction every house after that. And then back in 2011, I went to an auction. Nobody bid on the property, the same area, same neighborhood. And I wind up buying it for a steal of a deal. Why? Because people are emotional about it. And you have to understand, in wholesaling, you're dealing with people. It's not really the property, it's the people. And people have emotions, and most people can't remove their emotions from any type of sale they do. And they get like emotionally wrapped up into it. And so we as wholesalers have to unwind people and tell them, if we can solve a problem and make it work, then we get great deals. We do not sell people at all. I've told you guys forever, I'm not a good salesman because I'm too busy. Like, I just like to be truthful. It's just easier because you don't have to remember the lies. And for that reason, guys, go to the auctions. They're dynamite. Okay. That's the 333. I'm going quickly here. And by the way, I got plenty of room on the lives. I don't know if you guys are scared to talk to me today. So if somebody wants some extra time, today's the perfect day to do it. I only got a couple people in. So like I have plenty of time. See, I shouldn't be telling you guys this. Something's in the air today. Number two, sweat equity. And what do I mean by sweat equity? It means just going out and hustling to get deals, networking with everybody you humanly know. Guys, one of my best deals I ever did was through one of my mom's friends. Why? Because I told my mom what to do. And you know what? I don't tell my mom, I never told her I'm a wholesaler. I'm just a guy who buys houses for cash, especially problematic properties. That's it. Don't ever tell someone you're a wholesaler because they don't care, because they don't know what that means. They're like, what does that mean? Are you like a scam artist, or like, are you selling stuff from Costco? That's sometimes what I get. So I'm a guy who buys houses for cash and I close quickly. You know anyone like that? And as simple as that, from that one deal from a mom's friend, I took over a deal and made over $100,000 on a single family home. And it came out of nowhere. And here's the problem is you have to invest time and energy and tell everybody what you do. And you have no idea when it's going to repay you. But you have to have faith and trust that eventually someone's going to need your services. And the reality is all real estate, it's just timing. All business is timing. Even though they're not ready today, a lot of time when someone passes away or something changes or somebody loses a job or somebody moves away, they need to make quick decisions and you got to be in their face. Number 2, bandit signs, often overlooked. Make sure it's legal in your area. I signed an agreement. I can't do them in my area anymore because honestly, I did hundreds of deals from bandit signs. I was so good at it and I figured it out. And full disclosure, I put it away. And so my agreement was with me not doing it. So I had my son do it. And he dominated an entire market for 2 years. I mean, dominated. And honestly, while he was in high school, he made a killing on bandit signs. And honestly, I kind of thought it was dead. So don't ever assume something's dead. Try it, test it out. You don't have to go out and put out 500 bandit signs. Go put out 25 or 30. Go get a blank sign, get the Sharpie pen from Home Depot or Office Depot, and just write on there. And you want to use 3 lines. The bottom line is always for your virtual phone number, not your personal cell phone number. And then you have 2 lines to get your point across. Be creative, but be simple. Sell your house today, any condition, anytime, any place, something like that. Just don't be the we buy houses guys, because that is beaten to death. And honestly, someone's trademarked that, as stupid as that sounds. Number 3, I talked about it early, reverse driving for dollars. And specifically, this is the sticky note strategy that you attach to the pre-foreclosure list, the most powerful way. Let me tell you why it's so powerful. Number 1, only the people that have some sort of an interest call you back. And number 2, with the advent of Ring cameras, door knocking is, I'm not going to say it's dead, but you can actually get arrested in certain towns for doing it. So you have to be really careful. And honestly, you have to talk to this little thing like, I'm with the Ring door, like who are you? You can't even get past the Ring doorbell. And I find it very frustrating. And you guys communicate to this to me. We've given up on our side. We just don't do door knocking. We'll do it for specific properties, but we never do a canvas on it because it's so frustrating. And honestly, it always winds up with the cops showing up. So listen, I grew up with like vacuum salespeople in my living room talking to my mom for like an hour. And I grew up with the encyclopedia guy trying to pitch us. If you only knew the internet was coming around the corner. But honestly, I really appreciate like door knockers, but it's really hard these days to do it. Coming in number 4, copy, become a ninja copy. Like guys, I've already told you that one of the biggest challenges in wholesaling is everybody has this giant ego. Look what I did. Look at all these houses I flipped. I'm a superstar. I'm making millions and millions of dollars when you just started in wholesaling. And I want everyone to make millions of dollars. And honestly, I celebrate everyone's victory. I don't care if you use a paid guru or use me and Zach for free. I just want people to be happy in life. Like that is my goal here. Honestly, this is not a war between me and gurus and stuff like that. Honestly, if you use someone paid and you feel like you got value, then go for it. But I'm just telling you, times have changed. When I started out, it was $25,000 to hire a guru. And that was a lot of money back in the early 2000s. Fast forward today, you get the same services between $3,000 and $8,000 on average now, and the dollar's worth a lot less. So you have a much more diluted product, and you have with the advent of the internet and social media, you have people that really, it doesn't require any money to get started. And honestly, people tell you if you have a little bit of traction, like even Tony Robbins teaches this, so I'm not a big fan of it, is you need to go out and spread the word and teach everybody what you do. But guys, you got to get some miles on your shoes before you tell other people how to do it. Honestly, I never even advised someone till like 10 years into this business. Now, I had the skill set at year 2 and 3, but I didn't have the maturity and I didn't have the discipline and probably was reckless in anybody advised. So I apologize to anybody I advised back then. It's just, that is the truth of the world today, because so many times we see these strategies that come out and then you find out years later, like it's illegal, it's wrong, and people are like being chased down for it. Let me give you an example. Do you notice like you don't hear much about novations anymore because they're problematic. They're creating a lot of problems in the industry. And eventually it's going to be the point, unless you have a full-on license and you're working with a brokerage, you don't even have a shot at doing them. Because if you're a licensed real estate agent, you can't be doing repairs and all the stuff and playing middleman and keeping commissions. But what I'm telling you is sometimes you got to watch where stuff washes out. And when it washes out, then you find out like, oh, that strategy was illegal, or I get in trouble for it. And I hate that part of this business. So we're constantly trying to reinvent the wheel on how to like do wholesaling. Wholesaling, it's still the same fundamentals as the day I got started. It's getting a property that you're solving a problem with the seller that they need to sell. They need to sell, they don't want to sell. And then basically you are selling that contract for a profit. You provide a service, everybody wins. That's what wholesaling is. But if you try to go around wholesaling, here's what you do. You do a disservice because you never truly mastered wholesaling. And if you don't know how to make money with no money, how are you going to make money when you have money? Because you're still going to have a challenge. So guys, what I'm going to do is, it's up to you guys. I'm going to do something I haven't done in a long time. And I'm just going to throw the link up here. I'm going to make it super easy, but first come, first serve. As soon as it's filled, I'm done. So please listen, if you go on the live, we're not here to complain. I cannot, like, honestly, there's nothing I can do. We just waste time. So if you've never done a deal and you want to talk to me, you want to talk about mindset, you want to talk about your operation, or you want to talk about a deal, this is where you're going to jump on with me. I'm going to paste it right now. But like, please be mindful. We have children watching this. Okay. So I'm going to post it right now. First come, first serve. And you'll see it under, oh, well, if you can't figure it out, I can't help you, but it's right there. Let me finish up our teaching, almost done. And then we're going to jump on and answer questions. So anyways, if you lose your ego and you utilize other wholesalers' ego, you can easily reverse engineer anyone's success trail. How do I know this? Because I still do it to this day. Why do I have to go out and spend money when I find someone in a certain market? I get on their cash buyers list because I know they don't filter it out, because they're bragging about they have 50,000 cash buyers, which nobody does. I'm sorry. It doesn't, maybe a national database, but even that, probably a huge margin of error. And then I find the zip codes they're having success. I look at the properties they're listing, and voila, dude, you just got $5,000 of free information. Utilize it. They make it public. There's nothing illegal about it. I try to protect you guys so when you become successful, you don't make these mistakes. Because when you get traction in the market, the last thing you want to do is give away. It's like giving away a map to gold. This is why most gurus sell you a map, because it's a map to nowhere. So the reality, if you actually find the gold, why would you let everybody sign up on your cash buyers list only to reverse engineering what you're doing? You guys know cash buyers do it to you guys all the time. You have to do it back. Like, don't reinvent the wheel. Honestly, this is more valuable than a lot of these data companies. And guys, if you don't believe me, go to any Facebook group that has an area where, say it's like, say you're doing Jacksonville, just do Jacksonville real estate investors and just watch the bragging and follow the trail. Now, I'm here to warn you, if the braggers don't have the data, meaning they can't show you properties and they're not doing like for sale stuff. And by the way, they're supposed to be selling contracts, not property. That's transacting real estate without a license. It's going to get you in a lot of trouble, but just reverse engineer their path. I'm telling you guys, it's amazing. So now 300 people jumped on the live. So I'm going to take everybody in complete order to be fair, because that's how we do it. I'm almost done though. We're going to work through this. Last one, eviction list. Eviction list is all about timing. It's at your local county courthouse. Just find the department. The day the thing hits, pull it. Give you an example. If you're in the state of Michigan, on your eviction list, they typically put the landlord's phone number. I don't have that luxury in the state of Florida. So identify quickly on how you can get that information. So if you're in a state like Michigan, you don't even have to skip trace. So if we're talking about your hustle muscle, you don't have to spend a dime. You just got to call and contact people. And please do not forget Zillow FSBOs. Listen, it's super convenient up front, pain in the ass on the back. And I know I'm not supposed to cuss, but I apologize. So earmuff it, kids. Because you have the phone number, you have a price and seller. So let me tell you the two biggest mistakes people make on any type of FSBOs. Number one, If you think you're doing volume, you're not even close. You have to have a ton of volume. Okay, guys, we're full. I'm not taking anybody else in the live stream. It was that quick. So honestly, what I do is for free, and I just don't want you guys to waste time trying to click a button because I don't control StreamYard. So you got to have a lot of volume in Zillow, especially Zillow FSBOs. You have to make it work. Number two, we found this out the hard way through our JV program. A lot of these land deals you guys are chasing down on FSBOs, they're scams. They don't own the land and they waste your time. And that's why you're making so much progress. In the end, you find out they don't even own the property. So I'm just telling you, be careful when you're trying to do land specifically on Zillow because it's become challenging lately. So some sort of scam artist has found a secret. They're trying to get someone to wire them a deposit, and make sure you guys use legitimate title companies. What else? So we talked about volume. We talked about land deals. And here's the biggest problem. Ready? You guys always, most of you think that whatever the price that the FSBO owner puts on there, that is the market value. It typically is not. It's usually way over. So for instance, if somebody puts something on Zillow for $150,000 and you get a contract price of $100,000, you go, man, I just knocked the price down majorly. Maybe the property's only worth $75,000. So please don't use the list price as like that's gospel. That's the number. You have to go and just go through. I don't care if you go through prop, batch, use Zillow, Zestimate, like whatever, and just kind of figure it out, because so many of you think you're getting a discount because you knocked them off their price. They're trying to play the realtor game with, and they're not realtors, and they mark it up even worse than a realtor does, in my opinion. So a lot of you guys go, oh, 150, I got 100, Rick, it's a great deal. And then I got to let you know through a program, the property's only worth 78,000. And you're like, well, what do? I go, you got to go get the right price. And I want you to understand what a FSBO is listed for. Most of the time, it's not a factual ARV. And you got to find out what they're hiding from you too. Okay, I'm moving through here. Digital bandit signs. Now, I know Zach coined this phrase, but this is the art of using AI today. Like in our free wholesaling course, we have a whole AI section, which we're updating weekly. Now, keep in mind, we're testing the data, and I don't like to just throw crap out there, but I will tell you the amount of digital stuff you can write is absolutely amazing. You can use AI through ChatGPT to write ad copy. If you're really bad and weak at this is amazing. So if you want to post Craigslist ads, do the Facebook groups, we show you like the zero marketing method. AI is absolutely amazing for this. And then really you organically reach out to these groups where you have some credentials, and then you find people say, listen, just to let you know, I buy houses for cash all the time. I love dogs. I feed them bones. I walk them. But if you guys want to get together and talk about our dogs, but if you happen to have a house you need to sell quickly, I'm your guy, and I'll hang out with your dog. Something like that. Not exactly, but like I do it in the fishing community. I bought plenty of houses from other fishermen. Why? Because I have a natural built-in rapport and I have trust. And the problem is most people come in groups. They come into our group too, Wholesaling for Houses Real, and their immediate post is, where your cash buyers at? Or, hey, DM me. I'll show you. I got a secret way to do zero marketing method. And every time you guys do that, you're going to get knocked out. And it's a one and done. I just don't have time for it. I don't play games on this channel. We want it done correctly. So if you guys want to go over, there's plenty of sites that you could spam. It's not going to happen here. And the next person that DM me is, why did you get kicked out of the group? The last thing me and Zach ever want to do is kick someone out of the group. But once you break the rules once, I just assume you're going to keep doing it because you don't pay attention. Go get a paid guru. I'm not going to tolerate it. Zach doesn't tolerate it. So if you join the group, if you're not going to follow the rules, you're going to try to sell stuff, not add value, and you're very selfish, you're out. If you need me to spoon feed why you got kicked out, go look at your post. I promise you, I have a screenshot. And so there's some very slick people that try to DM you. Me and Zach don't ask you for money, period. We don't do it, okay? Like, I'm not going to do it through a DM. I promise you that. I'm never going to DM. So like, and oh, I didn't do it. It's like, get out. So we don't talk about digital currency, any of that crap. So honestly, we don't expose you. So many of these gurus, for months and months, they bragged about crypto, all this other stuff. And now when someone DMs you that looks like their account, which there's a lot of scammers out there, like, oh, are they talking about this? And it gets confusing. So we want to avoid anything. We only talk about wholesaling here. So that's a good one. And last one, not last one, direct mail. I don't want you to start out doing it, but if you have the skill set to talk to people, some of you guys come from another industry where you're very good at talking to people. You should consider direct mail if you can work a budget. The key with direct mail is you got to have 3 months discipline on it. 3 months. I promise you, you will make money if you know how to talk to people. The reality is a lot of you are learning how to talk to people, and that's fine. I don't want you to practice on direct mail because it can get expensive. So maybe you wait till you do 5 or 6 deals and then you switch over to direct mail. That's my suggestion to you. Every guru wants you to start on direct mail. Why? Because it's easy for them. Because you have to pay for leads and stuff like that. If you can figure out how to craft and do wholesaling without paying for leads, other than some of the simple list services we recommend, you will do amazing things. The problem is, if you start out with direct mail or these paid services and you get a deal or two, where are you going to go from there? Because that's the only skill set you have. I'm telling you, expand your horizons, add direct mail down the road. And if you want to learn more how to do it, if you go through Mailing Mastery, I think it's mailingmastery.com. I'll post it up here. I teach you 100% for free. You got to get a good education. You got to understand someone that's done it their entire career. I know the pitfalls in direct mail. Most of the stuff you see direct mail, it doesn't work. It doesn't work because they don't understand it. I make so much money with direct mail. Like, I love it. I would never stop doing it. And if you want to explore that, me and Zach are the people to help you do it because we are absolute experts. And we've crafted a product with a niche within it that just dominates everything. And I keep it secret for everybody in this group. So use it or lose it type of deal. It doesn't cost you anything. And the last thing is, this is one of the ways I got started on wholesaling, is I JV'd a lot. I was really good at finding motivated sellers. I sucked at the dispo side. So I would bring in other people that helped me sell the deals, and they couldn't believe I would let them make the money. But honestly, I was doing really good volume. And honestly, I was a little bit lazy on the dispo side, but that's okay. They provided a service, and I learned how to negotiate better deals, and it helped me learn dispos. So if you're going to JV with someone, if you're really good at dispos and you find someone that's really good at acquisitions, you try to swap each other's skill set, because eventually you either work together or you separate. Nobody ever does it forever. So like, if you're going to sign up with someone dispos or acquisitions, just say, listen, I'll partner up with you, but you got to show me what you're doing. If they don't want to show it to you, run. Like, it's a really selfish mood. It's crappy, and I don't like working with people like that. There's a lot of people out there, I'll do your dispo, but I'll never tell you how to do it. Okay, well, I'll use you for a deal or two, and I go find someone else that'll help me do it, right? And I'm going to beat you guys up on this. Cold call. It works. A lot of you guys are starting with little to no money, and I'm just telling you, there is no more efficient way in cold calling, because if you had to go meet with 100 people physically, I can call 10,000 people faster than you can meet with 100. I promise you. So you're not going to do 10,000 deals. You just want to find a few people that want to work with you. But my mentality is, I look at cold calling in 10,000 batches because I know the volume it takes. If you're looking at cold calling in batches of 2 to 3, listen, I'm not telling you to do 10,000 a day, but you have to have a goal. Like, I'll go through 10,000. If I get 10,000 no's, my persistence is I'll do another 10,000 until I get it. Because the reality is, your first 10,000, that's where you're cutting your teeth to actually learn the business. And I've never had someone actually do 10,000 cold calls with the right list, not make progress towards getting a deal. But sometimes I get people calling me like, I called 30 people and I got nothing.